New Super Mario Bros. Is an amazing sub-series, but it can be difficult to find out which one is the best one with 5 different games. That's what we're going to cover in today's video. Just be aware that this is mostly my opinion, so just noting that. We're going to rank each game based on 3 different factors: creativeness, gameplay, and power-ups. Alright, let's get into it. The original one. New Super Mario Bros. On the DS was a very creative game. It introduced a lot of concepts that would be used in later 2D Mario games. It combined the 3D movement of Mario with the 2D movement. It was very nice to control, and not to mention how many creative world themes it was introduced. It might seem basic now, but these were so lively and colorful back when the game released. It still is today now, and it introduced a lot of new enemies that would be used even in the 3D Mario games. This one is very creative. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 on the creative scale. The gameplay in this game is absolutely amazing. Mario feels really great to control, and it feels like how he was in Super Mario World. Like I said earlier, it combines his 3D movement and 2D movement, making for an awesome experience. Plus, there's a lot of level gimmicks throughout the levels, and it's really fun to play around with. It's one of the main highlights of this game, so this is going to get a 5 out of 5. Next up is the power-ups, and this is another one of this game's main highlights. They are so good. You have the blue shell, which is actually my favorite, so there might be a little bit of bias there. There's the mini mushroom, which transforms you mini and makes it so where you can run on water and walk up walls. You have the mega mushroom, which is extremely hype. You turn into a massive giant and destroy everything in your wrath for 10 seconds. Plus you have the fire flower, star, and mushroom. These are some very nice power-ups, and it makes this game so much better than it already is. 5 out of 5. With a total of 14 out of 15, it appears that this is very close to the contender of the best New Super Mario Bros. Game, but who knows, maybe another one will be the best. Next up is New Super Mario Bros. Wii, and this is another fan favorite, and I would say it actually did live up to the DS game. Starting off with creativity, this is another creative New Super Mario Bros. Game. You can definitely tell the developers took their time into it. Just like the last game, it introduced a ton of new enemies that would be used in later 2D Mario games. And although they still use the same world themes from last time, it still feels very different from the DS game. So 4 out of 5 on the creative scale. Next up is gameplay, and just like all the new Super Mario Bros. Games, Mario feels absolutely amazing to control. This is probably going to be the same for all of them, but I'm still going to point it out. Also, the levels are very fun this time around. They were already fun in the original game, but this one just improves upon it. It's very nice, and not to mention, this one introduced 4-player multiplayer, which was extremely fun for some people. There's even hit movies to tell you some pretty cool, neat tricks you can do. Plus, there's different modes you could play. This one is great gameplay. I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5. Next up is power-ups, and yet again, this is one of this game's main highlights. The power-ups are great in this. It introduces the propeller mushroom, which allows you to get a short boost into the air. There's the penguin suit, which allows you to shoot ice balls, slide, and swim fast underwater. And they introduced the ice flower, which I am surprised didn't make it up until now, but still, it's absolutely great. And you could say that the mega mushroom was better. However, when it comes to levels, it only appeared in 4 in New Super Mario Bros. DS. It also brought back the mini mushroom, and the mega mushroom was planned. However, they couldn't make that work because of the 4-player multiplayer. This is still great power-ups, so 5 out of 5. So coincidentally, it appears that New Super Mario Bros. Wii is basically on the same level as the original, which is a good thing because it was made to follow up the success of the DS game. Probably one of the most forgotten in the series, but New Super Mario Bros. 2 is still a great game, but let's see how it does in the ranking. First is creativity, and I'm pretty sure you guys know what's coming up. New Super Mario Bros. 2 took way too many things from its predecessors. There's only 4 original music tracks in the game, and the rest of them are either remixes or just sounds and songs that were taken straight from the original. Also, the world themes are basically the same, but there's one thing helping it. One cool idea is that the worlds mix into each other, so the start of the world could be beach, but then the end of it would be completely jungle. It is pretty cool, but it's still the same world themes. And guess how many completely new enemies are in this game? Alright, I'll give you a guess. Maybe you can take some time to look it up. Okay, do you have your answer? Alright, it's 0. The only new forms of enemies are just either versions that are skeletons or golden. There's absolutely no new enemies in this game, and it sucks because there could have been a lot of potential for new enemies here. So I'm gonna put a 1.5 on the creativity scale. It's really not that creative. But hey, maybe it's the other factors that count. Gameplay is relatively the same except for one thing. Mario still feels tight to control and very nice, but it's the main gimmick of this game. Le coins! There are coins here, there are coins there are coins everywhere. It's the main gimmick of this game. There's even a coin rush mode, and it's actually more fun than you might expect. It's very fun to just go around and try to meet the coin quota, and when you're playing the normal game, it feels so satisfying to collect. So for that, the gameplay is gonna get 4 out of 5. Power-ups are pretty normal. It brings back the ones from the originals and New Super Mario Bros. On the DS. It also reintroduces the Tanuki Leaf from Mario 3. And the only new power-up in this game is the Gold Flower. The Gold Flower basically gives Mario the Midas Touch. It's very good power-ups, but it's not too many original ones, so I'm gonna give this one a 3 out of 5. New Super Mario Bros. 2 is still a phenomenal game, but compared to its predecessors, it still is good, but it could be a little better. Now we have the second to last entry in the series, and in my opinion, New Super Mario Bros. U is definitely an underrated one, but let's see how it does in the scale. First off is creativity, and I would say it is pretty more creative this time around. The world themes are still the same, but it brings back the Mario World's interconnected map. Whether you like it or not, it depends, but it's still great. Not to mention, instead of Peach getting kidnapped now, the castle turns into Bowser's castle, which is pretty cool. And the levels have some new gimmicks, which is pretty cool. So I'm gonna give this 4 out of 5 on the creative scale. Next up is the gameplay, and this game does that pretty well. It reintroduces the baby Yoshis from Super Mario World, but now they can give you abilities. The pink one can turn you into a balloon, the blue one can help you shoot bubbles, and the yellow one shoots out light. It is pretty cool for all of these to be back in the game, and they're kind of reusable. It's really helpful when you're trying to get the star coins. The gameplay feels absolutely amazing, so because of all of these, I'm gonna put a 4 out of 5 for it. Finally, we have power-ups, and let me just tell you, this game does not disappoint. It has the 3 original ones, it has the mini mushroom, has all of the ones from Wii, introduces the Super Acorn and P Acorn. It's super nice with all of these different power-ups. There's over like 8 to choose from whenever you're playing levels, and it's very useful. And you feel so different whenever you play a different level. It feels very nice. So 4 out of 5 on the power-up scale. So with an 11.5 on the scale, New Super Mario Bros. U is definitely a good one. So it's definitely not the best, but it's great. Finally, we have New Super Luigi U, and because we only have 100 seconds, let's make this quick. New Super Luigi U is a quite creative game. Even though it uses the same engine and world map as New Super Mario Bros. U, the developers really put their effort into it because they had limited tools. Like for an example, this one, Huckett Beach Resort, is just a resort full of houses with Huckets. It's very simple, but they managed to make it much more creative than the first game. It still is, however, basically the same engine and world map, so I'm gonna put it a 3 out of 5. Next up is the gameplay, and the gameplay is great. When it comes to this, it's an increased challenge from New Super Mario Bros. U. You only have 100 seconds to beat each level, and now we have the infamous Luigi slipperiness. It makes Luigi very slippery, but makes him jump very, very higher. It can be useful when getting certain star coins that is literally designed for this game. And it's just me probably on this, but I actually find the wonky physics better than New Super Mario Bros. U's. It's very good and I love it a lot, so 4 out of 5. Next up, we have the power-ups. Well, it's the exact same thing, except that the propeller mushroom and penguin suit appears more, I guess, so 4 out of 5 on that. And wow, that was done quick. We have seen every single New Super Mario Bros. Game, and with our ranking, it appears that New Super Mario Bros. DS and New Super Mario Bros. Wii are tied for the best. However, this isn't actually the best. It's just whatever you feel like is the best one. However, this is just objectively. But all of the New Super Mario Bros. Games are still absolutely fantastic. I really hope you enjoyed this video. It took me quite a while to make. And make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't done that already, but it's fine. Alright, I'll see you in the next one.